All right, another beautiful day.
Yeah.
We've got.
Isn't it the same day?
I hate when you
I'm
do
sorry.
that.
That's why it's beautiful.
We've got Yoni,
Yeah.
service extraordinaire.
Yes.
We've got Papashevska,
Yeah.
former sales manager extraordinaire.
Oh, I was every bit of that.
Today, we are going to be talking about a question that has been on my mind ever since Yanni decided that he would, come help and contribute to YAA, which is, Yanni, why does it take so long for things to happen when like an oil change, for example? Why does that take an hour and a half when I drop my car off at the dealership? I'd love if today we could really explore that. But Pops, before that,
Yeah.
who are we sponsored by again?
YourAutoAdvocate.com, www.YourAutoAdvocate.com. Go to our website, check out our tools, our guides, our templates, and we're there to help you try to level the playing field when it comes to negotiating your next car deal.
So, Yanni, one question for you before we hop into the subject. Did you ever watch like some of the old ones where my dad would do the findthebestcarprice.com promos?
Yes.
I feel like he's smoother with those than he is for ours. I guess we got to work on like some word tracks or something, Pops.
Yeah, well, you just sprung this on me this morning.
Yeah, because it's like half the people who go to our YouTube videos don't know that we have the market price report, the browser extension. These are all things you can say in the future. But
Okay.
anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yanni,
Why does it take so long when somebody comes in to drop off their car to get an oil change?
Well, the longer you wait, the more you buy in the store.
I love that attitude.
Done. That's it. Great. Have a nice day. No. So, from when a client comes in for service, the write-up process, let's just talk about it, a few minutes, a little mishmash here and there. You're talking to your friends and, because that's what they are. I mean, I've got many clients that are truly friends. Mm-hmm. And, there's a time frame there. Let's just say it's a few minutes, right? 3 to 5 minutes. Then if, client goes and sits in the lounge, from that point, your car is taken over to a location where it's going to get in line in order based upon the appointment and also based upon what it needs to get serviced. Now, the technician gets assigned to that ticket. He's going to go ahead and look at the vehicle history. He's going to go ahead and pull the car in, do a general once over, take it for a brief test drive to make sure that the car is safe to go on a lift. And then at that point, he is starting under a warranty criteria to run time on that ticket. Manufacturers say that, a job pays this much. So therefore, the work time on that should be, let's just say, a half an hour or 45 minutes. So he's got that time to do the oil change, to check the tires, to upload his videos, to do his pictures. And then also in that process, if he finds a few recommendations to make, he's got to then put that into whatever program that dealership is using to form a PDF that the service advisor like myself will then present to the client. So now the next step, we've covered 2 so far. The parts department needs to get involved, pulling the parts. If a technician's in a different building, what parts that specific car needs and getting it to the technician. They don't have a general shelf behind them where they can just pull what they need because everything needs to be accounted for properly, of course, and build on the repair order properly. So that adds, some more time as well. Now we're getting into that expectation of, 45 minutes to an hour. And on average, an oil change takes about an hour to an hour and a half. Even in a quick lube facility, you're still looking at 35, 40 minutes. But in a quick lube facility, you're going in strictly for just an oil change. There's no other recommendations unless the car's falling apart. Where on most high-end brands, at least, there's more to the picture that I was just discussing. The inspections, the videos, the parts requests, the work that needs to get done. And let's just say all said and done, if everything falls in line and everyone is staying on top of their timing, then the car gets serviced, gets finished. It gets put in line to get a courtesy car wash at some places that offer it, some places I guess that don't. And in that time, you have a warranty administrator that's covering that store, 8, 12 technicians, let's say, 20, 30 waiters on an average day to book those tickets, which takes her time as well to, say, hey, Mini, or hey, BMW, or hey, Chevy, or hey, Toyota, we're going to go ahead and, ask for our money to actually get paid for the services that we performed when the car has a maintenance plan. So continuing that timeline, that idea, you have an hour and a half and 3 to 5 people that touch the car or the ticket during that process. So that's, in many situations, what causes, and what a lot of people I think don't understand about the time frame that it takes to get an average service done on a brand name car at that brand's facility. Now, if you're going into, like I said, the quick lube, my wife drives a Toyota, she schedules her oil change. If we have to add anything above a tire rotation, it's a completely different appointment that takes longer. You have to drop it off and leave it. So I think all those things need to be kept in mind when a client is scheduling their service, how long it may be. But the key point behind all of it is really talk to your service advisor. Ask them, what does my car need? Is there any way to know in advance so it can be thought about, of course, and scheduled more appropriately? Because time is money. Your time is money. My time is money. And when you're working all of that out with life, kids, work, working from home, going to an office, I think it's important to really spend the time on the phone. Stop by the dealership if you're available on a Saturday or something. New cars today, the key fobs retain all the service information that it's asking for. And this way you can spend only a few minutes and get it better tuned to what you're looking for and how much time you have.
One of the things that I seem to recall, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
Never wrong.
Oftentimes people would come in and they'd go, well, I have an appointment and I'm here for my oil change, and they think that whatever other work might be going on in the shop needs to come to a halt because they just got there and everything else should be dropped and their car should just be, it should be like NASCAR. A whole team of mechanics should come over to the car, perform.
5.
Yeah, exactly. And the tire guys and go through the whole thing and have it done in 10 or 15 minutes. And as much as we would like life to work that way in a dealership, it doesn't because, well, there's other cars that were there before you, and those jobs have to be completed. There's only a certain number of service bays. It's not an infinite number. So I would think that so much of what has to transpire has to be set up by the service advisor, that you have to clearly articulate to the customer what the time is going to look like. Set the expectations as to, correct. I know you think this should only take a half an hour. It's probably going to take closer to an hour and a half. Here's why. And if you do that, then when the customer's there for an hour and 15 minutes, they're going to go, well, yeah, it took less time than you warned me it might. I think we call that in the business under promise and over deliver.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Setting the expectation, like you said, let them know in advance, here's what's going on. Give them options and opportunities to make a decision that also works for them too. You can't just focus on yourself, of course, and what you need to bring into the shop. And I think that, maybe this is more of a education for other service advisors, but also, naturally the clients for YAA is that, you need to be transparent. You need to talk to your clients. I enjoy it because I'm getting to know more about them, of course. But when you find that, you have X amount of work coming into the shop and you've got X amount of work, that's in the shop at the moment, you have to set that timeline up. And as much as we want to get things done, like you said, in a blink of the
Yes.
eye, there is, an order and there is situations, and we're dealing with cars here that are broken besides for routine maintenance, and more things tend to break than not, unfortunately, just like a refrigerator or anything else. So yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right.
I could see us doing some future videos because as I was listening to that, Yoni, and I know I'm kind of cheating because we're asking for everyone that's watching the videos with Yoni, comment down below, give them likes to the topics you want to see us do. I am a little bit, maybe I hold some sway because I tee up the questions, but I'd love to see us do a video in the future, Yoni, about book time, because you kind of mentioned that the manufacturers that provide the new car warranties, and when we're talking about at least maintenance work, like they know how long it should take. But then I'd wonder, let's not get into it today. Let's save it for another video. But I definitely could I want to know behind the scenes because I don't know the answer. Like, what are techs doing behind the scenes? Are they beating book time? I hope they are because
they're doing their best.
Well, anyway, I know exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's save that for another video. And then also, I think we should definitely get into in a future video as well, like the distinction between maintenance work and repair work. Because if you think about how distraught kind of your clients are when they come to you. The game stays the same. You have to set really good expectations. You need to under promise and over deliver, but you're handling a whole different circumstance when someone's car is breaking versus, okay, I'm in for my routine maintenance. So I could see us doing a deep dive there as well.
I think I have a mild degree in social work after 20 years of in this industry for sure.
Something tells me I'm going to use that clip on social media. That's pretty good, Yoni.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I've got a bit more of an education. There's a lot of hands that touch the vehicle when you come to the dealership.
More than you would realize.
And quite frankly, what you've described even at not an independent shop, but like a quick lube type of place also makes sense. Yeah, it's going to be a little more quick, but you're also, if anything were to come up that's more than what they're expecting to do there, you're in for the long haul there. And it kind of puts into perspective for me kind of being a bit more informed before I do go in and have maybe some of my own misaligned expectations. There's a lot of hands involved. There's a lot of different moving pieces. And quite frankly, the dealership's actually the one in the service department's the one that's like keeping everything flowing easily so that I don't have to worry about half of it or any of it.
We try. We try for sure.
And you could see yourself, I was just going to say, Yoni, you could see yourself paying a bit of a, I don't know if this is the case, but I would pay a premium to have other people make sure it goes through smoothly versus me having to manage aspects of that. But I might just be, a prima donna. I don't know.
No. I mean, listen, there's a value to it. And I think that, it's important, as a consumer is to ask questions, like I was talking about, I think in a previous video, or if it was earlier this conversation, is that during the Toyota, when we bring our Toyota in for service, it's, even though I sit in that service advisor's shoes, I still come in and ask questions because, every facility is different. You've got your Jiffy Lube, of course, you've got your, local mechanic with a 3 or 5 bay garage, and then you have your dealership. So asking questions, feeling out who you're talking to, who you're developing a relationship with if you decide to continue to go to that facility. I think it's really the key point here to seeing what you're happy with, because that sets your financial budget for what you're going to do with your car.
Mm-hmm. Yoni just planted another idea for a video in my head. I'm saying one more idea, but let's wrap this. Where should I take my car for the oil change? Should I go to the mom and should I go to Jiffy Lube? Should I go to the independent mechanic? Should I go to the dealership? Don't answer, Yoni. We got to get people to click on the next video. But I like that idea. That's a video coming up.
Sounds good.
Well, guys, I appreciate your time like always, and genuinely, I'm learning so much already from this. So I hope everyone else is too. This is great.
Cool. Looking forward to doing more.
Always happy to.
Yep.